Hey Warren, let's actually hope that my video response finally gets put up, because every time I make a video response I keep forgetting to put it up and whatever. So I was planning to put up another video, but I saw your Saddam Rant, and with everything going on I kind of felt like I had to say something, because I've just lately, the past couple of days, I've just felt so sick. I mean, I'm not saying the guy was a good guy. He was not. He did a lot of horrible things that I would never think anybody should do to another human being. He did do terrible things. However, I feel it does get scary to say your own personal feelings up here, especially when you live in America, land of the free. Yes, because we have freedom of speech. So-called freedom of speech, whatever they call that. But you know, I don't feel that this whole execution was for these 1982 murders that he committed. I don't know if it was 1982, it was 148 murders. But it feels like this excuse is coming out of nowhere. Completely nowhere. First of all, after September 11th, they tried their hardest to make the connection with Saddam Hussein and bin Laden, which was complete bullshit. And, you know, and of course you have certain people within America who, you know, they want to be patriotic. They feel supporting the war is a patriotic thing, and you're only American if you support the war. Whatnot. I'm rambling. But the whole thing disgusts me. It disgusts me. It's not even about researching, Warren. It's not even about that. It's not about researching and making yourself knowledgeable. I feel this whole issue is a whole issue on humanity, which kind of frightens me. Because these people who are like, yeah, he's dead, it's over, and it's great, we killed him. What makes you better than him if you have gone and killed him? Does that make you any better than him? Does that make any problem go away? It makes things worse. And it sure as hell does not make us humanitarians. And, you know, we're so for human rights and everything. How are we better than that? We're supporting something like this. We're supporting it. We're cheering it. I saw the Daily News and the New York Post the other day, the day after he was hung, and one of the headlines said, Saddam swings. He was not a good man, but who the hell deserves a headline like that? How can you have the humanity to even think up such a ridiculous headline like that? It disgusts me how people think of each other. It disgusts me, and it makes me hate people so incredibly badly, because most of us are just so for ourselves. You know, we try to act like, oh, I care about other people, and oh, I'm for this and for that. No, you're not. You know, especially when you're sitting there and you're acting like a goddamn hypocrite. Okay? You sit there like, he killed so many people. Also, we have to go hunt him down and kill him and kill all these people. You're doing the same damn thing as him. You're just as bad as him. You're no way better than him. And, I mean, I tried to avoid this topic for a while. Joe Bob One Half did a video response to me trying to say about, you know, Saddam was bad, blah, 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 and saying that my facts were wrong, which perhaps they were a little twisted, perhaps maybe I got like a thing or two wrong, but overall, I was not wrong. The United Nations did not agree with the Iraq War. And it was either the House of Representatives or the Congress that refused their approval for the Iraq War. I'm not exactly sure because I don't remember, whatever, but it was not an approved war to just be like, okay, yeah, it's something we needed. From day one, I was disgusted with the war. From day one, I disagreed with it. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it had nothing to do with September 11th. And you know, these people are like, we're fighting for our country out there. How the fucking hell are you fighting for your country in a different country? Explain that to me. How is killing other innocent people defending your country? You ruined their country. We completely destroyed their country. And yet we can sit there and say how wonderful we are and that we are brave, fighting for our country and protecting ourselves and protecting our freedom by killing other fucking innocent people. We have some nerve. We really do have some nerve. And then when you actually sit there and say, you know, this war is wrong, you should leave the country. You aren't patriotic. You know, you're a disgrace to the country. You're not American. You support the French. And it's like, you're really ignorant. And not just about like knowing the facts, the exact real facts. Just ignorant about life in general. About respecting other people. I mean, these people are so incredibly ignorant. It makes me want to slap them. I mean, and now you have the video of Saddam going around. I mean, I saw the full, complete video. And then they try to put it on the newspapers. Try to put the picture on the newspapers. And I'm like, you know, if it's any other thing out there, you try your hardest not to shout, but it's just like, oh, well, he's nothing. You know, he wasn't a good man, but he was still a human being. And to act like that towards other human beings, then what right does anybody else have to be sympathetic towards you if something happens like that towards you? We could ridicule you the same way you ridiculed him. And they humiliated him to death. Humiliated him. I mean, he was not a good person. He did do a lot of terrible, horrible things that he should be punished for. But it felt like they were pushing it so hard. And what about Bin Laden? Who has been known to done 10 times worse? Who has admitted to doing 10 times worse than him? How come all of a sudden it's like he's on the back burner? Which I believed he died years ago, actually, to be honest. To be honest, I really think he died back in 2002, 2003. You know, when he had his last real video. Let's not count the fake one that has a person who doesn't even look like him. But, you know, all of a sudden that was thrown on the back burner like it was nothing. And all the focus was on Saddam Hussein. Who, again, I will say was not a good person, but if you compare evilness in Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein, I think Saddam Hussein might be a little higher in he has a little less evil deeds than Bin Laden. So why all of a sudden put the focus on that and forget about that? And as you were saying, Saddam Hussein did keep he kept the looting down a lot. Many of these citizens have been known to say that it was a lot safer when he was president, dictator, whatever you want to call him. And also the whole Shiite versus Sunni conflict wasn't even happening because the Shiite were in their own section and everybody else was in their own section. And there was not the fighting going on like it is now. Now it's chaos. Like, we think we've brought in them democracy and freedom, and all we've done is destroy their country. I really think we should get the hell out of there. You know, at the same time, I just feel sick because once we do get out of there, we aren't taking responsibility for the damage. All we're doing is causing more damage, honestly, either way. Either way, we just cause damage and chaos wherever we go. We just leave. Okay, yeah, I'm done. You know, and the only people suffering here are the Iraqis. And you know, so many of them probably lost their schools, can't go to school, lost families. I I've seen it on the news all the time, and I'm not talking about our news over here. Yes, I have watched Al Jazeera, and every day they show the families that are, children, little babies, bleeding and killed. And yes, there are soldiers killed there too. And, I support them coming back safe. I don't support the war. I support them coming back safe and unharmed and alive. But at the same time, they knew what they were getting into when they signed up for the war. Little babies don't. Little babies don't sit there and say, can I please live here so I can get bombed and killed? They don't sit there saying, well, I'm here in this country knowing what's going on. No, they're just born. And then all of a sudden, chaos happens here. And, of course, there was actually one really good story I heard of. There was a baby who was very sick and ill, and one of the soldiers actually tried to help her get better. And he was killed, and then his platoon decided to continue helping the baby so that, and to honor his memories. That was one good story. But there's so many, like the story where they raped the little girl and then killed her whole entire family. And then they sit there and they say, how's the situation? No, the war made us crazy. Fuck that. It's maybe because I'm Arab, it hits me harder, this whole situation. I don't know, but it's disgusting. I hate it. I hate the war. I hate what they're putting on TV every day. I find myself at a point where I cannot go into a message board regarding war or political issues because you always have the people sitting there and they talk about us. They talk about Arabs like we're meat, like we're nothing. I've read topics where people say that we should. No, actually, I read one thing. Somebody on a radio station did it just as an experiment to see how people would react. He said that Arabs should be marked and thrown into concentration camps. So, of course, some people called in. They said they were outraged. And then there were some that were like, oh, that's a good idea, but no, that's too tame. We should do this. We should just kill them off. We should just kick them all out. And it scared me. Because funny enough, after September 11th, I used to worry that they would do that to us. I used to worry that they would treat us the way they treated the Japanese Americans during World War II, and they would throw us in concentration camps. It's strange and weird to even think about that, but it could happen. Because some people out there are so sick with their thoughts, the things that come out of their mouths, the way they act, the way they treat people. The way they take stereotypes and they label you and treat you like you're nothing, like you're not human. And they did that with Saddam Hussein. Of course he wasn't good either. He treated people terrible. And in a way he got his just desserts. But at the same time, I don't think anybody should be killed like that. It would be nice to have an ideal world where everybody dies from natural causes, but I find it sicker that people are just cheering this on like it's nothing. And they're cheering and they're like, oh, well, here are Iraqi Americans dancing in the streets. I don't know. And I'm rambling. I'm sorry, but. And, I'm looking at your video now and I'm looking down at the comments and some of the people that comment you are the dumbest fucks in the world. And this is probably one of the few videos where I'll actually curse this much. But really, the funny thing about them, they'll call you Muslim, they'll tell you go back to your Arab country. Some people really say stupid crap on here. They really do. Yeah, some people are actually smart. But, I see the profile comments, and they sit there calling you dumb Muslim, dumb Arab, and I'm like, dude, he said in several of his videos that he's not Muslim. But people are idiots. They're idiots. And I feel like the people supporting this war are idiots. And they're not educated about what's going on. And they have no brain to think for themselves. They just think that, oh, let's just think whatever, hey, whatever George Bush says for best for the country is the best. But you know what? We do have freedom of speech. And freedom of speech does not mean I have to listen to everything that goes on and I have to agree with everything and just nod my head. That's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is me saying, I don't agree with what the president says. I'm not going to vote for him, and I'm going to say my thoughts on this whole thing. I don't have to hurt people to do that, because I don't condone that. I don't condone hurting other people to prove my point. And anybody who does that on any side is wrong. It's true that you could do it through desperation and whatnot, but it doesn't mean it's right. But I can still say my point. I can still say what I think is right and what I think is wrong. And I can still be American. And I can still love my country and what it stands for. And hate when people twist that belief, that right. I'm going to stop this now because I'm probably going pretty long into this video and I'm rambling, but keep up the fight, Warren. I mean, we can't do anything. I thought about it the other day. I kept thinking about everything going on because me and my parents were talking about it, and of course we were very upset about everything. And it was just like, I can't do anything. I can't, I'm not going to go to any extreme, and I'm not going to, I don't have money to donate to any cause, but I just keep people in my prayers and just hope for the best. And if people are being ignorant, I ignore them because I can honestly say I can't take it. It's very hard for me to take it. But I hope it ends soon. I hope it really does end soon. And the only victims here are the Iraqi people. And it's terrible what we did to their country. It's insanely terrible what we did to them. And I can only hope that we leave soon. And that things calm down for them. And that their country is at least becomes stable. Because it's not stable now. We've made it unstable. But, I don't know what much more to say. I'm rambling way too much.